Hi, in this particular playlist we're going to be looking at the November 2018 Edexcel Foundation Paper 3. And the previous two playlists we've looked at paper 1 and paper 2, so this one is the final one in this series. Please do stop the video, have a go at each of the questions and then compare your solutions. I hope you find the videos useful. If you're not sure about anything, please do add a comment below. I'll always come back to you, add a like, it's really appreciated, and I'll look forward to seeing you inside the videos. Hi, this is the November 2018 Foundation Paper for Edexcel, and it is paper 3. Please do stop the video, have a go at each of the questions and then compare your solutions. I'm going to aim for this video to be about 20 to 30 minutes or so. It'll give you the opportunity to do maybe about an hour's worth of fairly focused revision. Okay, so let's move on to the first question, and this question is write a number in each box to make the calculation correct. Okay, well, this is a calculator paper, so all you need to do with this is just take 56.3 away from 100 and you're going to get a difference of 43.7, and that would be absolutely fine. Same again with the second one. If you use the fraction key on the calculator, you should be able to work out that would be 5/7, or you could just do it by mental arithmetic. Okay, number 2 then, write 3% as a fraction. Well, 3% as a fraction is the same as saying 3 out of 100. So that would be the answer to question number 2. Okay, number 3, it says find the square root of 1.44. So if you have a look on your calculator, okay, you're actually going to be using this key here. Okay, that will give you the square root of 1.44, which is going to be 1.2. Okay, just be careful about your decimal points. There's only 1 mark on this particular question, so you do need to make sure you make it very clear where your decimal point is. Okay, number 4, work out 1/8 of 720. Well, again, you can use the fraction key on the calculator. It's going to be this key here. Okay, if you use that fraction key, you'll be able to work out the answer is 90. Okay, and that would be the completion to question number 4. Let's move on to question number 5 onwards. Okay, so question number 5, it says write down the name of this 3D shape. Well, this 3D shape, you could call it a rectangular prism, but its common name is actually a cuboid. Okay, I'd have to have a look at the marking scheme about rectangular prism, but I think it would be correct and you would be able to use that. So write down the number of edges on this 3D shape. Well, all we're doing really is we're looking at the edges. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 at the end there. And then opposite that, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then the 4 edges around the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 12 altogether. And that would be the answer to that particular question. Okay, number 6 then. An ordinary fair dice is thrown once. On the probability scale below marked with a cross, the probability the dice lands on an odd number. Well, if you look at a dice, you've got 1, 3, and 5 that are odd numbers, and you've got 2, 4, and 6, which are even numbers. So the probability it's going to land on an odd number is a half of the time. Okay, write down the probability the dice lands on a number greater than 4. Well, it could be 5 or it could be 6. So we've got 2 numbers out of 6 numbers that it could land on that would be greater than 4. Okay, hopefully that's okay for you. Let's move on to question number 7. As I mentioned, please do stop the video, have a go at the question and then compare your solution. Okay, so Sean is 1.88 meters tall. David is 6 centimeters taller than Sean. This is very typical of these sorts of questions, particularly right at the very beginning, where really the easiest way to solve them is if you convert the 1.88 meters to centimeters. So to do that, there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So I'm going to multiply 1.88 by 100 by moving the decimal point twice. So that's going to be 188 centimeters. Okay, and then from there on, it's just you've got to be a bit careful with reading the question. So it says David is 6 centimeters taller than Sean. Okay, how tall is David? So basically it's going to be 188 plus 6, and if you add those two numbers together, you're going to get 194. So it would be 194 centimeters. Okay, hopefully that's okay for you. Let's move on to question number 8. So 2 pens cost that, 5 folders cost that. Ben wants to buy that and that. He only has £50. Does he have enough money? Okay, so again, it is a calculator question, but you do need to show your working, particularly because this question is 4 marks. So it is well worthwhile writing out your thinking. You've got £2.38 for the pens. Okay, and they're going to be £2.38 each. He's going to buy 10 of them. Okay, so he's going to spend £23.80 on the pens themselves. Okay, let's have a look then at the folders. Okay, folders is going to be, I beg your pardon, sorry, it's going to buy 20. Well, if we're going to buy 10 of them, it's going to be that. Okay, yeah, 2 pens cost £2.38, so he's got to buy 10 lots of them. Okay, so that's going to give him 20 pens altogether. Just lost myself a little bit there, sorry about that. Okay, so 20 pens altogether. Okay, let's have a look then at the folders. Well, he needs to buy 4 packs of folders, if you like, because each pack of folders is going to be 5 of them. So it's going to be £5.60 multiplied by 4, and that's going to give him a total of £22.40, and that's going to be 20 folders all together. Okay. So if we pop that into a calculator, add the two together, we're going to get £46.20. Okay, so does he have enough money? Yes, Ben has enough money. Okay. Excuse my dreadful writing. Okay, all right. Hopefully that's okay for you. Sorry, I just fluffed it a little bit on there. But hopefully you got that he needs to buy 10 packs of 2 pens in order to get 20 pens altogether, and 4 packs of 5 folders in order to get 20 folders. Okay, let's move on then to question number 9. Question number 9, we've got some shapes to have a look at. So in this particular one, it says, write down the name of shape E. Okay, well, shape E is a trapezium. Okay, so again, be very careful. It's a trapezium. It's a 4-sided shape, okay, and it's called a trapezium. You're normally probably used to seeing it the other way around, with this at the very top, okay, and then this angle here going the other way. So it would look probably something like that. You're probably used to seeing it like that. Okay, so then it says 2 of the shapes are congruent. Okay, this is a video I posted recently actually about congruency, and congruency is all about something that is the same. Okay, so 2 of the shapes are the same as each other. Okay, they're identical in every way, so it's the same angles, same length of sides, and that's actually going to be shapes C and D. Okay, hopefully that's okay for you, but you do need to know the meaning of the word congruent for that particular question. Okay, so let's move on then to question number 10. So question number 10, we've got a drawing that we need to do. Hopefully I'll be able to do this okay on the video. Okay, and it says on the grid, reflect the shaded shape in the mirror line. So please forgive my freehand, but hopefully you'll be able to imagine that the shape itself is going to be like this. Now, the reason that is because on a mirror line, what we're looking at, if you can imagine a mirror right in the very middle there, so something like that. And if you look at the actual shape itself, you'll be able to see the shape through the mirror. But if you can imagine that reflection is at 90 degrees. So this is 1 jump. So this will be 1 jump the other side. And this is 2 jumps. and then 2 jumps the other side. Okay, this is 0 jumps, so it actually sits on the mirror line itself. Same with this, and hopefully, if you can imagine, you could go through all the different points or all the different corners, they call them vertices, of this particular shape, and you'll be able to figure out where each of the corners is going to be in the reflection. Okay, so number 11, there are men and women at a meeting. Okay, 28 women, 30% of the people at the meeting are men. Work out the total number of people at the meeting. Okay, so what we're saying is, when it says 30% of the people at the meeting are men, what it means is that this, the 28 women there, represent 70%. Okay, so you've got to be very careful when you're reading these things to try to figure out why they've said something like that. And it's because they want you to appreciate that 28 women equals 70%, if you like, of the people. Okay, so hopefully that's all right for you, but it's just making sure that you kind of get what it is and why they've said something like that. Right, so what we need to do then is, if 28 represents 70%, we need to figure out what would represent 100%. Well, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to work out 10% first by dividing both sides by 7. Okay, so what we're saying is that 10% of the people, okay, must equal 28 divided by 7, which is 4. Okay, so if 4 is 10%, if I multiply that then by 10, I'm going to get 100% of the people, 100% of the people. Okay, I appreciate I'm writing this all out longhand, but hopefully it'll be easier to follow if I do that. Okay, and that means there must be 40 people in the meeting altogether. Okay, hopefully that's all right for you. Let's move on then to a very popular kind of pie chart type question. So you do need to be aware of these. I'm going to be doing this freehand again, so hopefully it'll be all right for you, but it will give you some idea of how this would look in terms of the pie chart. But please do stop the video, have a go at each of the questions, and then compare your solutions. Okay, so Joan asked 60 people to name their favourite vegetable. I don't know why she would do that, but she did. Okay, so in other words, there were 60 people altogether. Okay, now what we're saying is that 60 people need to be represented in the full circle, which is 360 degrees. So that must be 360 degrees in total. So in other words, each person, the 60 people, is going to be 6 degrees each. Okay, so each person, if we're representing 60 people, each person must be 6 degrees each. So therefore, each of the vegetables must be 60 degrees each, 6 degrees each. So I'm going to multiply that by 6, and that's going to give me 4 peas. That's going to give me 144 degrees. For carrots, I'm going to multiply that by 6, and that's going to give me 96 degrees. And for mushrooms, I'm going to multiply that by 6, and that's going to give me 120 degrees. Now, if I add all of those up, 144 plus 96 plus 120, I'm going to get 360, which gives me some level of confidence when I then start to draw the pie chart. Okay, so what we could say then is we've got peas at 144 degrees. Now, unfortunately, I haven't got a protractor to hand, but hopefully with a protractor, which you would have in the exam. If you haven't got one, please do ask the adjudicator. Make sure that they have an obligation to give you the materials if you need them. So please do ask the adjudicator, and they will be able to give you a protractor, and you should be able to measure this in at 144 degrees, and that would be peas. Okay, make sure that you label the sectors. It's very important that you label each of these so you can show the examiner exactly what your thinking is. So carrots is going to be 96 degrees, but don't forget it's going to start from here. So it's going to be just over a right angle. Remember, a right angle is 90 degrees, so just over a right angle, that would be 96 degrees. And this is going to be carrots. Okay, hopefully you can see that all right on the video. And then finally, you should measure it at 120 degrees, and that would be mushrooms. Okay, now you won't need to draw in or write in these degrees. Okay, these angle measurements here, I've just done it for the purposes of this particular video, but hopefully it'll give you a clearer idea of what the pie chart, the finished pie chart, should actually look like. And bearing in mind also, it is 3 marks, so you need to be relatively accurate when you're working through these. Okay, let's have a look then at the next one. Please do stop the video. Have a go. Okay, it's question number 13. Annie sold 45 books at £1.20 and 34 candles at that and some calendars at that. She got a total of that. How many calendars did Annie sold? Well, what we've got to do is figure out how much she got for the books and how much she got for the candles. Okay, so let's have a look. She got 45 books multiplied by £1.20. So for the actual books, she got a total of £54, and you should be able to work that out on your calculator. Okay, for the 34 candles at £1.50 each, so got candles, 34 of them multiplied by £1.50, that's going to give us £51 for candles. So in other words, for books and candles all together, if I add those together, I'm going to get £105. Okay, all right, so if she got £150 all together, but she got £105 for books and candles, it would mean that calendars, she's going to get £150 minus 105. So for calendars, she actually got £45. So it would be £45 for calendars. Okay, now each calendar is 90p, so be really careful here because we've got pounds and we've got pence. So what we've got to do is convert either all of that to pennies or this to pounds. It's probably going to be much easier to convert it to pounds because 90p as a pound or portion of a pound is going to be 0.90. Okay, so 90p is 0.9 or 0.90. So if she got £45 for calendars, total calendars, okay, would be 45. Now divided by 0.9. It would be better if you wrote that as a fraction. Okay, you won't lose any marks for it, but it's just better to get into the habit of dividing things using fractions because you can use then equivalent fractions and all sorts of different things. But either way, you should get a final answer of 50. So she sold 50 calendars. Okay, that's it. Oh, calendars. Okay. Okay, I guess I need to learn to spell. Okay, so let's have a look at number 14, which is a question that comes up again fairly regularly. These sorts of spinners and dice and coins and all sorts of probability type questions. Okay, so here is a 4-sided spinner. Table shows the probabilities. Spinner will land on a 1, 3 and a 4. Work out the probabilities. Spinner will land on a 2. Well, the total probability of it landing on one of the numbers is actually 1, and we call that a certainty. So it's certain that the spinner will land on a 1. It's not going to sort of land just on its needle all on its own. Okay, it's going to definitely land on something. So to work out the probability of 2, we need to make sure these numbers all add up to 1. So the easiest way, maybe in a calculator, I'd start with 1, take away 0.2, take away 0.4, take away 0.1, and when I get to that, all of this added together is 0.7. So 1 minus 0.7 means that it's going to be 0.3. Okay, let's have a look then at part B of this question. It says, which number is the spinner least likely to land on? Well, it's least likely to land on number 4 because it only lands on that 0.1 of the time, or if you prefer, 10% of the time. Okay, if you can imagine this is 100% altogether, this would be 20%, 30%, 40%, and 10% of the time. So the number that it's least likely to land on is going to be number 4. Okay, so Jake is going to spin the spinner 60 times, work out an estimate for the number of times the spinner will land on a 1. Well, that's going to be 0.2 of the time, so 20% if you like, and the way we would work that out is we'd say that's going to be 60 times 0.2, and either work that out or pop it in a calculator, and that's going to be 12 times. Okay, that's the end of question number 14. We're about 20 minutes into the video. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll just carry on with final question 15 and 16, and that should take us to about 25 minutes or so. So let's have a look at question number 15. Okay, so question number 15, Bert has 100 cards. Okay, there is a whole number from 1 to 100 on each card, no cards of the same number. Oh, right, so Bert puts a star on every card that's a multiple of 3. He puts a circle on every card that's a multiple of 5 on it. Some of these questions are so innovative. Okay, work out how many cards have both a star and a circle on them, which is quite an interesting question. Okay, so what we basically mean is that if a star is on any multiple of 3 and a circle is on any multiple of 5, then a star and a circle will be on multiples of 15. Okay. So a star and a circle will be on any card as a multiple of 15. So what they want us to do is to work out how many cards are a multiple of 15 within a stack of 100 cards. So the first one is going to be the first card, which is the 15th card. Okay, then we're going to get the 30th card, the 45th card, 60th card, 75th card, and 90th card. Okay, so all of those cards will have, because they're multiples of 15, a star and a circle on them. So there's going to be 6 cards in total. Okay, so hopefully that was all right. A little bit of a tricky one to kind of understand what they were getting at, but hopefully that worked out okay for you. Okay, number 16 is a ratio question. Very popular, particularly because you've got kind of relatively big numbers to work through, but basically they want you to just give its answer in its simplest form. So we've got effectively 450 to 15. Okay, so make it simplest. Well, if you use a calculator, it's probably just as well, because then we can just divide both sides by 15. If we divide both sides by 15, on the right-hand side, I get 1, which is about as simple as it gets. On the left-hand side, I get 30. Okay, so the ratio in its simplest form would be 30 to 1. Okay, so that's 22 minutes into the video. I think we'll leave it there. It's probably a very good point to stop. Okay, we're up to question number 16. We're going to start with question number 17 in the next video in the playlist. If you've got this far, that's really good. Please do add a like. If you're not sure about anything, put a comment below. I'll always come back to you, and I look forward to seeing you inside the next video.